Did we really need this horror remake? Let's rant about it. Hey everybody, welcome back into the channel. We have a film review for you today. I know we've been doing a lot of TV, so kind of nice to get back into movies. So this is going to also be a little bit different review. I'm going to have both a non-spoiler and spoiler portions. So you can have one video you collectively don't watch versus two separate videos you just ignore. So good to go there. All right. So we're going to be taking a look at the remake of Silent Night, Deadly Night, released here in 2025, released by Bloody Disgusting and a bunch of other studios. So don't get the huge studio push from the big names, but it gets a nice release out there. So, and you come along with the name franchise. And to be honest about this franchise, I didn't really know a lot about this franchise. I grew up in the 80s and 90s, and I know that's when this franchise was going on, but it's not one that I ever really latched to. I was, part of the big names, Freddy Krueger, Nightmare on Elm Street, that's my big one. Friday the 13th, Halloween, all those. Those are the ones, obviously, were kind of exposed to me the most growing up because they were the big names. But this one never really came up. So as I got more into horror as I grew up, I knew of the franchise. You see the poster, the box art with the arm with the axe in the Halloween or in the Christmas costume, the Santa costume. So it has a very iconic cover. But again, never really got into the franchise too much. I have since watched kind of like a bunch of reviews and kill counts and things like that, but I never really still haven't seen the movies. They haven't really shown up on streaming services and things like that, and I wasn't about to pay to see them additional charges to watch the movies when I have so many a part of the streaming service movies I should be watching anyways. So this franchise basically has been kind of lost to me throughout the years. So I was coming into this movie relatively blind about like what the story's really actually about and what we would actually be seeing in this movie, comparatively to what the original was all about. So I can't truly say yes or no if this really follows what the original was about or not. But I know there are aspects, at least, that I recall from the reviews that I've watched that are similar. So this isn't going to be a comparative review or anything. It's purely just going to be based off of what I saw in the movie and kind of my thoughts. So the non-spoiler section. So we're following the character Billy, which I think that name is also similar to at least one of the movies in the franchise. I don't remember if it's the first one or second one. But we follow Billy, who is going around kind of on a mission to kill a bunch of people. We don't know why, we don't know what's going on, but he stumbles into a town and happens upon a girl that he's very interested in, and then we see the goings on of kind of what takes place after that. So I don't really want to say too much beyond that. I don't want to spoil the movie, but kind of my assessment of the film is, so for the first half, I understand what they were doing. I get it, but I was really not digging it. I was not interested in it whatsoever. I thought it was, there was a few like fun scenes and fun kind of kill scenes, but the kills, at least at the beginning of the film, never really go that far. Like they still do some practical effects, but it's not like Terrifier-esque, over the top kills or anything like that. They're pretty tame-ish, I would say. But just the storytelling technique and the things that they were doing, I was just not really into. I was kind of checking my watch a lot and whatnot. But then you get to the third act reveal and then the goings on after that. And that completely 180'd me. And I was so bought into and dug this movie. And retroactively, it made me reflect on what I had saw before it. And I'm like, oh yeah, this is like, I get it now. I get why they did that. And then the end is pretty awesome. And I love what they do with the ending and kind of like turn things around and kind of what they present to you. Nothing really unique around kind of cinematography and lightings and stuff like that. That's all well done. It's pretty standard stuff. I wouldn't say any of the filmmaking technique aspects of this film is groundbreaking in any way. They don't really do anything kind of new or interesting with that. They do kind of other storytelling techniques, which I'll get into the spoiler review, that, tells the story in a little bit different way than kind of a classic film will, but nothing revolutionary or groundbreaking. It's just kind of different from the norm. But it's kind of very rare that a film really flips my thought of it that far into the movie and like retroactively makes me like saying, oh yeah, that was cool. The hard part with this review, if I watch the movie again, I'll be like probably digging it throughout because I know what's going to happen. But to be able to fully kind of give a star rating and assess this film, I have to realize like I spent a lot of this movie just kind of checking my watch and like kind of bummed out and like this is boring and stupid. But then fucking this twist happened and now it's awesome. So it's hard because like the roller coaster of kind of what I was on, really, I can't ignore the fact that I thought it was dumb at the beginning. So a lot of people might have that same reaction too. But I have to also say, I did have an opportunity. I had a friend text me saying, hey, we're going to be doing a thing after you watch that movie, but we're going to get some food. So do you just want to leave your movie early and come hang out with us and then we'll do our thing later? And I almost took him up on it because the movie was that dull for me. But I'm really glad I didn't, because then I would have missed the twist and everything and kind of what the end of the movie did. So I'm glad I didn't take him up on that offer. So I ended up really, really enjoying this movie. The performances were done pretty well. I mean, nothing about this movie is really a wow from cinematography, from storytelling technique, to acting performances or directing or anything like that. But the story that they told and the way that they told it and what they did with it in the third act, I thought was pretty unique and special in itself, and thought it was interesting and unique enough that kind of leveled up the movie for me. So I think ultimately what I'm going to do is give this movie a 3.5 out of 5 stars. I would like to give it more, but again, I can't ignore what the first half did and understanding other people might feel that way. So that's what I'm going to talk about in the non-spoiler section. So now, spoilers. We'll see how long I do something with that. So, all right, now we're in the spoiler section. So hopefully you've left if you don't want to hear anything. But okay, so the film is following Billy, who has this voice in his head. And it sounds like fucking Venom from the Venom movies with Tom Hardy. And it's a unique voice, but you have no context really where it's coming from or why he has this voice kind of talking to him and telling him to kill people. And they do these kind of Kill Bill-esque things, like when he decides to kill a person, it says kill whoever in like this red and like kind of a freeze frame situation. So I thought the film at the beginning was trying way too hard to be kind of funny and unique and edgy and like Tarantino-esque or, whatever, and really trying to like buy you into what's going on. And you keep on getting flashes to the night that Billy's parents die. And it's like, okay, yeah, like we get it. Like that's where he kind of gets his motivation to kill, because this dude in a Santa costume killed his parents and now he's pissed off and he's just going to kill people. So I'm like, all right, we have this Venom voice, and like, it's not really super comedic, but it's kind of like quippy a little bit. So they're trying to be a little bit funny with it, but also matter of fact with it. And it's like building along slowly, and he's got a relationship with the girl and everything. And the whole time I'm thinking, we know what the reveal is going to be. It's going to be that he ends up killing the Santa dude because it killed his parents and it kind of like mentally twisted him and whatnot. Now he's hearing voices in his head, and it's probably going to be the Santa dude and whatever. Like he just hears it because. And I thought the film was going to be, because I've seen so many horror films that are so lazy, that was going to be the premise, and like that's ultimately what it was going to be, that it's like, fuck, this movie sucks. And it's like, the kills aren't that great. Yeah, they had the big Nazi killing scene, and that was kind of fun, but it wasn't over the top gory, which would have, which is what you really wanted to see. It was just a bunch of kind of axe things to the stomach and things like that weren't really showy or over the top. So that really was kind of a bummer to me. It's like, yes, it's kind of a fun big slaughter scene. I'm going to kill all the fucking Nazis, but then ultimately it wasn't that really over the top and whatnot. So I was a little bit checked out of the movie, definitely, as we're rolling into the third act. But then that fucking reveal to say, like, yeah, it's like, yeah, he killed the Santa dude, and then the electricity where it, like, zapped into him. But to find out that it was, like, he's killing because these are all bad people, and his parents ended up being bad people who killed their grandparents. And, like, just retroactively made me just really dig what they were doing. I'm like, I didn't think they were going to give enough of a reason to why Billy's killing and hearing this voice. I thought it was going to be super lame and matter of fact, all the stuff that I was just ranting about. But them giving it that much of a reason and purpose, and then building upon that, and then at the end where, like, he kind of trades off when he ends up dying and hands it off to his girlfriend. Like, to me, that was so fucking cool. Like, I don't know why it really worked for me. Obviously, it's still not, like, revolutionary or groundbreaking or anything, but it was just a twist enough and unexpected enough for me from what I expected from this movie, to on top of to then the performance from them, to really kind of sell it at the end. Like, it just worked. It worked for me, and it was awesome. The Orphan remake is the only other movie that I can't think of. Orphan First Kill is the only other movie that I can think of in recent times that really started off that I really didn't like, but then once the switch took place and once that took place, the twist appeared, I really loved the movie. And yes, I loved Orphan First Kill. I know a lot of people hated that movie. For some reason, the twist in that movie made me absolutely love it as much as the first one. The first one's awesome too. So really like that franchise. But this one, I really dug. I thought it was cool. And again, it retroactively made me like what thinking upon what they did at the beginning. It's like, I was all pissy because I made assumptions of what was going to happen, and then I really wasn't digging what they were doing. But, like, then once I understood that this is basically a buddy comedy of these people killing people, or else, like, innocent people will live. But that's also another thing doesn't really work in the film, now that I think about it, kind of on the fly here, that the voice in his head basically said, if we don't kill, then people that shouldn't die are going to die. But the reason that they're killing these people is because they've already killed other people. So they're not saving the people that would have died. They're killing the people that already killed people. So I don't know if there's some aspect of it to where, like, they eventually will know in the future if they were going to kill somebody, or they're working on killing somebody. Right now it's more of a kind of a Dexter situation where, like, they know that they already killed somebody, so they're going to kill them. So that's a little loose. They don't really have that very tight. But other than that, just the idea of this voice has the power to show them kind of the truth beyond the person's facade, and, like, oh yeah, they did this horrible thing, so they must die, is pretty cool. But there's more they could do with it. I mean, again, it's very loose. Like, why is it only the 25 days, or whatever, the 25 days of Christmas, the Advent calendar, as they said it? Why is it only for that long, etc.? There's a lot that, they make assumptions, and you kind of have to just deal with it. But kind of what was presented, I ultimately ended up liking. So, all right, rant done. Go see the movie. It's actually a lot of fun. So please like, comment, and subscribe if you can. Really appreciate it. Let me know kind of what you thought of the film, kind of what you think of the franchise, what do you think of this one, What'd you think of anything? Just like to see some comments and like to see thoughts. Really appreciate it. All right, well, that's another movie review in the book. If I don't see you again, bye forever.